As of recording this video, there are 100 days left of the year, also known as the winter arc. What if you finally decided to make this next chapter, this next 100 days, this season, where you finally just stopped talking about becoming the person you're gonna become and finally became them instead? During these colder seasons, motivation normally dips. You know, the weather gets colder, Christmas time gets pretty busy. So imagine if you set yourself a challenge and you got through the worst period of the year and made progress. Imagine how easy it would be to carry on next year. I want to share a structure with you which you can follow in order to make that happen. So, how do we do it? How do we survive the worst season for growth, diet, gym, spirituality? How do we do it? The answer is the 100-day winter arc. So for step 1, we're going to pick 3 pillars that we're going to focus on, okay? So it's going to be 1 for the body, 1 for the mind, and 1 for the soul. For example, this would be a good weekly schedule you can follow over the next 3-ish months in order to make actual sustainable progress. So firstly, the body, the thing that drives everything. You're going to work out 3 times a week. Monday, you're going to do a push day. Wednesday, you're going to do a pull day. And on Friday, you're going to train legs. A simple 3-day split will do wonders for you. It's easy to follow and very easy to execute because it's only 3 times a week. You've got plenty of rest, you've got plenty of time, so there's no excuses, okay? So how am I going to train? Very good question. I'm going to send you to the best people I know in the fitness industry, and that's Jeff Nippard and Athlete X. They'll be able to describe anything and anything you want. They've got videos on everything, and everything that I know about fitness and nutrition has come from them. Go on their YouTube channels, search for a 3-day split workout routine, just like I said now, and you'll be able to find incredible quality content you'll be able to follow during your winter arc. When it comes to fitness, it's always best to keep it simple. The more complicated it is, the chances are it's probably not very necessary and only applicable to when it's extremely niche. For example, F1 drivers working out their neck. Who else do you see doing neck movements at the gym? Or doing something extremely specific just to grow your bicep? You don't need to make it complicated. Just keep it simple, keep your split simple, keep the exercises simple, and just keep showing up. Consistency is the thing that's actually going to give you growth. So just stick to a good routine for 100 days and you will literally be a different person on January the 1st. For the mind, I recommend reading 10 pages a day. If you hate reading, listen to an audiobook. Just dedicate some time to lay on your bed, sit in your chair, and put on an audiobook. But in this example, I'm going to choose reading. Order a book you like the sound of from Amazon today and just read. Seriously, just a few pages a day. Personally, I like to go for 10. It's just a nice round number. And if you stick with this, by the time the winter arc ends, you will have read a book, which is probably more than what you've done in the entire year, isn't it? And if you actually follow the 10-page rule in 90 days, that's 900 pages. And to put that in perspective, that's enough to read 3 excellent books. Beyond Order, which is 382 pages, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, which is 204 pages, and The Courage to Be Disliked, which is 272 pages. That's 858 in total, which actually gives you some room to not read once in a while, or just read a few plus pages, whatever it is that you're feeling. And trust me, 10 pages a night won't feel like a lot. For the soul, we're going to do some journaling. And I know, it might sound a bit boring and cliche, but it's actually incredibly important. Being able to reflect is a must, especially when you start working on yourself. You need to let all these new thoughts out. You need to see them and try to process them, because the chances are you just let it all ruminate up in your head, which is, fine and all if you can contain it, but what do those thoughts actually mean? Putting all those things on paper will actually give you a lot more clarity than just trying to organize it all up here. It's incredibly powerful to write things out, whether this is a problem or a win. It just allows us to see it and think about it much more clearly. And it's going to be necessary when you're going through all these changes in the next 100 days. The point isn't to be perfect or become an expert. The point is about consistent and sustainable progress. That's why we've made it simple and not over the top, so we don't get overwhelmed. The second step is boring, but it's incredibly crucial, and that is to track the arc. We need a visible representation of what we are doing. A notebook, a calendar, chart, or an app on your phone, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that every single day, every single task gets ticked off, because doing that gives you proof that you're in it. It gives you proof that you're actually doing something. So whenever you're doubting yourself, whether you're wondering if you're actually making progress, you can quite easily look back onto this and just check that you are. And if you aren't, then that means you're slacking off. Then that means you know you need to try harder. Either way, it's a win-win. There's also quite a few different apps you can download, something like Todoist, just to help with accountability and tracking. They'll just send notifications to your phone. You can set yourself alarms and reminders. There's plenty of ways you can remind yourself to do this, and plenty of ways to stay on track of your tasks. Because the act of tracking is simple, it's just boring. That's why we don't want to do it. Personally, I set alarms on my phone. When my alarm goes off, I stop what it is that I'm doing, within reason, obviously, and I just go and do that task. I know this may not be sustainable for everybody. That's just what works for me. That's why I'm recommending you various ways you can stay on track, because I don't know how hectic or peaceful your life is. Because the idea is, if you do start going to the gym, you feel like you're not making any progress, but you've took measurements, checked how much you weigh, you're able to see that the scales, in fact, are different. The measurements are different. It was all up in your head before. When it's on paper or an app, it's tracked, it's visible, it is fact. Your brain cannot dispute it. That's why it's so important to keep track of things. As well, it's nice to see progress, isn't it? It gives you that dopamine boost. Last time you did something, maybe you finished a large assignment at work or at uni, or you did your garden all nice, so now your path is nice and beautiful and all weeded out and clean. I don't really know much about gardening, as you can tell. Just a random example. How good did it feel to finish it? It's because you've seen it. That's because you could see that it's done. And getting that dopamine from the tracking is exactly what's going to get you through these 100 days. Aside from your discipline, right? When this time of the year comes, majority of people just spend it scrolling. As soon as they finish work, they immediately rush home because it's too cold, the weather's bad, it's too dark, and they just can't be asked to do anything. I understand, it's more difficult. It's so much easier to get up when it's nice and sunny outside, right? But that's the problem. They're just waiting for the new year to start again. But me and you, we're going to do things differently. Imagine 100 days ahead whilst everyone else hits snooze and just waits for that magical January the 1st. That's what makes the winter arc so powerful. Because when the new year does come and people jump on the little fad and start the new Year's resolutions, we are going to be miles ahead. We're going to be more disciplined, we're going to be more consistent. We're going to have a backlog of progress whilst they're only beginning. And I'm not saying this is a competition, because it's not about whether you do more or they do more, but it's about staying consistent and honest with yourself for you, because you want to, you're just putting it off. It's going to be that much easier to carry it on a January 1st, because you're doing it in the most difficult season. So if you get through it now, it's going to be smooth sailing later on. And that's not just progress, that's an identity change. That's a big shift. So what happens after? Well, that's the best part. It's no longer just a fad or a challenge. It's integral to who you are. You become the arc, because then you just continue it. Because then doing this for 365 days no longer seems that difficult, does it? You've just done it for 100. So imagine yourself at that finish line. Imagine yourself what that's going to be like and how good that's going to feel. So don't let another winter slip away. Use these 100 days to change who you are. Focus on the 3 pillars and a visible tracking. And remember, keep it simple but effective. It may not be as flashy, but it'll work. Because like I said, this isn't about becoming perfect. It's about proving that we can stick to the promises that we make to ourselves. And once we do that, well, there's no limit as to what the next arc can be. So as always, I wish you the best of luck, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.